will now move to the last section of this course, where we will discuss the submission process. At the end, there is a short summary of the course too. Submission. Submitting your grant application isn't the end of the process. In fact, you've only just introduced yourself. What follows next will depend on the funder, and you ought to know what the procedure is ahead of submission. A full-scale process might look like the diagram here. After submission, your submission may undergo several technical and administration checks for eligibility. If your application fulfills the basic criteria, then it may be sent out for peer review. Once the reviewer's comments are received, you may then have to respond to them. You may also have an interview as part of the process. In other words, a lot goes on between the application submission and when the funding is awarded. Aggressive criticism. This is uncommon. If this does happen, it is important to calm down and collate thoughts before responding to comments. It is essential to re-examine applications to check for flaws before clarifying your position in an appropriate manner. The next is constructive criticism. This is the most common form of critical feedback. It is key to only make changes that fit with your original vision for the research. If the feedback ends with having to start over again and redesign the research, it is wise to do so. The next one, faint praise. Subtle praise is difficult to spot, especially for those having English as their second language. Suggestions to reframe your contribution is a backwards compliment the reviewer has given you. When the researcher's seniority is questioned, when applying for interdisciplinary projects, it is key that they point back to his or her CV to highlight their potential to undertake such critical projects. The fact of the matter is that only 25 to 30% can be considered a good success rate in applying for funding. Some early career funding competitions in the arts and humanities can offer only 5% of applicants the funding they request. It is likely you will have to submit 4 applications before you have one funded. A realistic goal, therefore, is for you to submit a fundable application. It is natural to feel discouraged in the face of such poor odds. Your application can be rated as excellent and still not be funded. It could be the 6th best proposal out of 100. But if there is funding only for the top 5, the result is rejection. It's important to focus on the things that you can control. You can control how you put your plan together, how you express yourself, how you manage your internal review process, and who you apply to. And when the rejection letter or email arrives, you should give yourself a break of a couple of weeks before you can honestly evaluate how well you did the bits you were responsible for. And be ready to get back to applying again, because you'll be better next time. You just need a little luck. And the more you practice, the luckier you'll be.